Hi guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to American Government Political Science. Today we'd like to talk to you about what we did over the past couple weeks with our student-led participation in our state and local government. The topic, we chose to do a topic of gay marriage, one, because it's very controversial. We knew it would stir up opinion, we knew people would talk more about it, and two, it's very relevant, especially since in 2004 Ohio passed its gay marriage ban. No exceptions, only heterosexuals are allowed to get married.
We just thought we'd give you some statistics beforehand to give you a little bit of an idea on gay marriage. 49% of Americans now favor gay marriage, and this is from a survey in 2013, so this is very recent. 9 states have already legalized gay marriage. 30 states, like you just said, Ohio is one of them, have banned gay marriage in their constitutions. And when California had gay marriage legalized, it was only legalized for 142 days before it was banned by Proposition 8.
Okay, so what we did, each of us did a petition, and for my part of the petition, I went to the soccer team and those within my dorm, and for my page of signatures, I got 35 signatures. Many of my people that I asked to sign were very open to signing. Some had opinions, some didn't. And while there was those that didn't really have an opinion or were open to signing it, there were those that were very strong in their opinions against gay marriage.
For my petition, I received 27 signatures, and just like her, I went around my dorm, and then I went around the library and in some of my classes. Some challenges I faced were basically the same as hers. A lot of people, since it's such a controversial issue, are extremely just dead set on if they're for it or if they're against it, and I would try so hard to give them so many positives like tax incentives and stuff like that, but they just didn't budge. So a lot of people, I had trouble getting them to sign it they just didn't want to do anything with it.
I personally accumulated approximately 40 signatures, and we have our petition with us. It is currently being passed around, starting with Ty. It is on the desk. What I found best was to go to a public building where people had time to actually talk to you and listen, and they could have a conversation. So I didn't want to go to, say, a library where people were trying to study. I went to the cafeteria and took 15 to 20 minutes out of my time of eating dinner to walk around the cafeteria and personally speak one-on-one with individuals, asking them what they felt about gay marriage. I initially asked how they were knowledgeable about it, what they knew about it, and then I asked what their opinion was. And if they were totally for it, it was very easy. I said, would you like to sign a petition stating your opinion that can potentially go to the state legislature to get it back on the ballot? If they said no and they didn't want to sign it, I asked for their dissenting opinions to find out what specific reasoning they had. And if they did not have any opinion one way or the other, they didn't either know what gay marriage really meant or they didn't have an opinion at all, I tried to persuade them, tell them the benefits of gay marriage, what it can provide, and stuff like that.
So the next part of participation that we did is we sent emails directly to a representative from Ohio. I personally wrote an email to Representative Ryan Smith. There was no particular reason as to why I chose him, but he is a Republican, not meaning he's against gay marriage, but recently he has voted against homosexual marriage. So in my letter or email, I informed him of my point of view and the benefits gay couples should receive, as it's the same for heterosexual marriages. And I also told him that we are a country based on equality.
For my email, I emailed State Representative Kathleen Clyde, and she is a Democrat. She is for gay marriage, and I picked her for that specific reason because since I'm for gay marriage as well, I figured it'd be easier for me to get my opinion and exactly how I feel out to somebody who has the same feelings as I do.
I sent an email to State Representative John Adams, but before I emailed him, I wanted to know how he votes towards the issue of gay marriage, so I called his office and spoke to his secretary. I was unable to speak with him because he must have been in a meeting or something of the sort, that's what the secretary said, but I spoke with him and got some verbal records, and he stated that Representative John Adams typically voted against gay marriage, So that's why I chose him. I wanted to persuade him to start voting the other way. I gave him my opinion, and one of the things I wanted to touch base with him was that Ohio, as we know, is one of the states in national elections that have a lot of electoral votes, so it should take part in being at the forefront of the gay marriage legalization movement across the nation. And I kind of feel like it's flat out rude and discriminative to not give the same benefits to gay couples as different sex couples. So I told him that he is a state representative of all Ohio citizens and not necessarily a state representative of heterosexual couple citizens.
So why we did this? Obviously, like we have said, this is a very controversial topic, and we have a lot of personal connections. I personally have 2 cousins and multiple close friends that are gay. Instead of making this just a class project and saying, well, I have to spend time on this, we figured that we would invest our time in it and make an impact.
On top of that, we know a lot of people are uneducated about gay marriage, and only see the negative. So we wanted to be a part of the movement and make people more recognizable about the positives of gay marriage.
I have a few friends who are gay, and quite honestly, they're awesome people. They're great, they have great character, they are fully fit to be participating citizens in government, fully fit to be parents as heterosexual couples, and I believe that I don't think that they should be discriminated against and be declined benefits that are legally set for heterosexual couples. And I think, since I believe that they're great people, I don't think they should be discriminated against either.
And on top of that, we wanted to see a change in the government so much, so we really picked this one just so we could be a part of the movement.
So why this is important? As we've talked about earlier, heterosexual couples are getting legal benefits that the homosexual couples are not getting. So I want to talk about adoption because my parents have adopted 5 kids, so it's kind of a familiar subject. So approximately 100,000 children are waiting to be adopted. And the problem is that if a spouse of the homosexual couple adopts a child, only one gets the guardianship over them. So meaning if one dies, then the parent's going to have to go through unnecessary paperwork to try to get guardianship over that child if they're under the age of 18. And there's a statistic that shows that children with homosexual parents strive more socially and academically.
For my part, I focused more on the tax incentives and them getting money back to the government. And if they are able to get married, they will file for taxes together instead of having to file completely separate from each other even though they're married. And for more of the government issue with the money, once gay couples notice that, hey, this is legalized, we're going to be extremely excited about it, which means they're going to be planning weddings, going to the flower shops, the bakeries, all of that as soon as they can. So once they keep all doing that, the sales tax is going to go through the roof.
One thing I learned is that since Ohio has banned gay marriage, any gay couple that wants to get married goes to a different state, and that's where they spend their money. States and local governments, one of their main concerns is to raise revenue. They need to make money to run their state and local governments, but they don't receive any of that revenue if a gay couple goes to another state to have their wedding. And I found a statistic that the average cost of an American wedding, give or take, is between $22,000 and $25,000. That's a lot of money that a state and local government could have, but because they are banning gay marriage, they're unable to collect on that revenue.
So the goals that we accomplished, we collected over 100 signatures. We didn't really set a specific number that we wanted to reach, but I think 100 was pretty good for the time being.
Mm-hmm. And we also used, we noticed that transparency was a huge deal for this. When we had to find the state representatives and their emails and exactly what they were for against gay marriage, it was a lot easier for us to find it online than I ever thought it was going to be, so transparency became a huge deal for our project.
And speaking of transparency, we had the option of either sending 3 emails or letters to one representative to have more opinions sent to one person, or divide it up and have 3 separate letters go to 3 separate representatives. We chose the second tactic because we felt that getting more opinions out on a wider spectrum would be more beneficial than just sending it to one person. And we did 2 representatives that were against gay marriage and 1 that was for it. And we did that instead of having all of them be against it, because we felt that if she does one that is sent to a person who is for gay marriage, it will give that representative more of a personal connection to her representees to keep fighting for the movement.
So our challenges. So when I went around and asked people to sign the petition, those that were hard-right conservatives told me that they wouldn't sign it because their religion states that marriage is between a man and a woman. I stated that I agree with this because I am Catholic, but we are a country based on democracy. A democracy promotes freedom, order, and equality. So if we're all granted the same freedoms, have to follow the same orders, shouldn't we all be considered equal as well? So, like I said, we're a democracy, not a theocracy. So.
A lot of the people, some of the people I encountered were definitely uneducated, both with gay marriage and how our government is run. I remember a specific student who I asked, what is your opinion on gay marriage? Because I didn't want to persuade him one way or the other first. I wanted to find out how he felt. And he stated that he doesn't believe gays should be married because he doesn't think that the government should regulate it, which is kind of contradicting because the government is regulating, they are saying who you cannot marry. And so some people are actually uneducated with how the government is run.
For the hard-right conservatives, I have an example for that. I was in the library asking my friend to sign it because he was for gay marriage, and I had a girl come up to me asking me what the petition was for. And when I told her it was for gay marriage, she stormed off and told me she wasn't going to sign it without me even asking her to sign it. So it's just people like that that are uneducated about it and only see the negatives of it, and they don't even let you come out and tell you the positives for it.
So changes for next time. As it was stressed that we should start our project early, well, we did, but not as early as we should have. So we would want to not procrastinate as much and probably get more signatures.
One thing we also should have done, we could have done, but we didn't, was quote the people on what they said when they said that they didn't want to support gay marriage. Actually have quotes of what people are saying and their reasoning why couples of same sex should not be married.
We had preset dates put down for our pre-presentation, but we didn't exactly follow through with all of those dates like we would have hoped we would have. We also wanted to, instead of just doing something here on campus like a petition or sending out silly emails, to actually attend a council meeting or a rally or a protest. And then also do participation conventionally and unconventionally to kind of get the sides of both of them and not just go dead set on one of them.
So for our understanding of government, this helped me understand the differences between like our federal and state and local governments, that even though our federal government is sovereign over everything, that our local and state governments definitely have a role in determining many important factors.
What I learned in this was, we learned in class the difference between conventional and unconventional, but I always thought the conventional maybe would have worked a little better with it being in like a cleaner manner. But I noticed if you do things like protests and rallies in that unconventional way, it almost tends to grab the eye of the government because they actually have to come down and work with you.
And speaking of work, I've learned that changing policies or creating legislation definitely takes a lot of work. It's more than a one-person job setting a goal and striving to achieve it. It takes a lot of dedication and determination and definitely commitment to the issue that is pertaining to what you're interested in.
Okay, so we have a clip YouTube video. Is there any way you could hit one of the lights?
thank you guys for sitting and listening to our presentation. Hope you guys have a nice day.